Hey babes, welcome back to another episode of The Way of the High Priestess. Today's going to be another mini soundbite specifically about intimacy and expanding our context for intimacy. So I was recently on a podcast and I was asked this question. The host of the podcast said, I recently read one of your posts where you talked about intimacy being more than just heated, passionate sex with a partner. And we opened up into this wonderfully deep conversation about intimacy beyond sexuality and intimacy beyond this quote unquote perfect notion of what sexuality and sexual acts need to look like. And something I've been reflecting on is this deeper level of intimacy with oneself. And this is a journey that I have been on in such profound ways. And it's a new look at intimacy. So, first of all, the context of this episode is intimacy for a party of one, creating intimacy with ourselves. And I will say that something I have learned in my journey in working with clients and doing my own personal work is that intimacy is not only for the moments where we feel sexually turned on or where we feel inspired and in bliss. Intimacy is for every single moment. Now, in these past few months, I've been in a radical transformation process, and intimacy for me has been in moments of deep despair, deep grief, sadness, hopelessness, guilt, frustration, embarrassment, shame, you name it. And a part of cultivating that intimacy with myself was really allowing myself and inviting myself to be present with what was happening inside of me. And so when we're looking at what that means, that happens on a number of different levels. What's happening inside of me in terms of the sensations that I'm feeling in this experience, whether it's an experience of guilt or shame, an experience of joy, an experience of feeling successful. What sensations are arising? What emotions are arising out of those sensations? What thoughts or narratives or beliefs are wrapped around this experience that I have about myself or my abilities? And in that, what meaning am I making of all of this as I'm living in this experience? And is there a space for me to be with what's here, right now, to not shy away from it because it feels like the light is shining too brightly within me or on me, to not push it away or disregard it because it feels so uncomfortable, to not get defensive or act out because there's some idea that I need to protect or defend myself from something. But can I simply go deep down inside and say, okay, what's here right now? Can I be an observer while also being in the first person perspective of what's here? And so I'm looking at this context of intimacy as something that we develop in all moments. Yes, in the moments of bliss and joy and orgasm and all the things that we want to post all over social media. But what does intimacy with ourselves look like when we feel like we just really fucked up? Or when we feel like we really let ourselves or someone else down? What does intimacy look and feel like when we can be present for ourselves in all of the sensations, emotions, thoughts, narratives, beliefs, discomfort that come with some of the human experiences that feel more challenging? And as we cultivate and develop the capacity to be with ourselves in that, because we have decided to let go of judgment, of blame, of shame, and or to be with those things as they arise, then we can cultivate the capacity for deeper intimacy with others. And that's truly where our capacity to be in deep, conscientious partnership comes from. I'm going to record another episode coming up that's going to talk about conscious partnership and some of the misconceptions behind it and what it really means. And it's going to be a part 2 of this conversation, which is, Can we cultivate the capacity to be so deeply with ourselves in all the moments, not just the ones that feel light and airy and great and pleasurable, but all the moments, so that when we're in relationship with others, we also have the capacity to be with ourselves and with them through everything? Can we be our own ride or die so that we can show up for others in that way when that relationship feels like it's that kind of deep? I'm sending you all so much love. I wish and hope that this episode supports you in expanding your context for intimacy, because yes, it is about all the things that feel great, and it's also about all the things. It is all of it. Can we have our backs no matter what? Can we be our own ride or die no matter what? And as one of my teachers, Melanie Ann Layer, says, can we show up for ourselves no matter what? Like, no matter what happens, instead of showing up for ourselves as long as this thing is right, as long as this amount of money is here, as long as you treat me or you say these specific things in the specific order. So I'm sending you all so much love and hopefully a deeper awareness of what intimacy with ourselves and with others can be. And I'm sending you so much love and good vibes.